Hi, everybody. It is Saturday, August 14th. And yeah, today I just decided to give you guys some enthusiasm and some a positive perspective because a lot of this negative stuff is going on right now. Okay, so if you follow my videos at all, you realize I get kind of whether you call it a download or messages or something. A lot of times I'm motivated to do a short video or something because of that. It's like, I've got something I got to tell you or things like that. But today I'm just trying to do a small kind of recap because I realized that it looks kind of bleak out there. Looks like everything's just falling apart. And the reality is, and I know I've talked about this before, is this is kind of meant to be kind of a wake-up call and kind of a lesson for all of us. It's to show us how bad this got, how complacent we've got over all these years, and we just let this unfold, and it's been happening behind our backs. So, as much as it's hard to understand or fathom right now, I know I talked about it on my last video that we're getting a lot of help, including off-world help and everything. But what it is this is kind of a controlled burn, and I know I talked about that in previous videos. They're only going to let this go so far. So now they're showing how all these governments have just, it looks like they're gonna start new wars and all this of it. But it's kind of meant as like I said, a wake up call for all this. To be honest, this is part two. Last year it was kind of almost like a dry run. They went through this whole pandemic thing, and we're all supposed to pick up on it, going, yeah, wait a minute, it just doesn't, we're all supposed to kind of clue in a little bit. And I was on social media platforms trying to wake people up with little memes and like, hello, you guys, this is not what you're thinking. We're being played. And, at the time, I didn't even realize the part I was playing. I was just kind of waking up and sort of having this inner knowing, like, wait a minute, this is something wrong here. This is not right. Well, it's very illogical too. I mean, even if you're not an intuitive person, just what's going on doesn't make sense, guys. This is like way over the top and crazy. So, I was kind of figuring it out. And since then, not only have I had a lot of downloads, I remember my first videos last year, over a year ago, I was like I was told to just sort of document me waking up to all this. So I was getting these messages in my head and automatic writing to write a bunch of stuff down, just all this information. It was like, wow, it was almost too much. And then, since then, I've been slowly waking up, and I know I've said this before, and it's like, it's not like I'm from where there's no time, so I'm kind of like a time traveler. If you could, it sounds corny and everything, but like I've also done this before, so like I'm not necessarily new at this. This my story is really getting filled out by, like, they're explaining it, or it's more, to be honest, it's more like me waking up from this amnesia. And now a lot of people don't know what amnesia is unless you've had it. And we all have forgetfulness. It's like, oh, I forgot, and then something reminds you of it, and then you go, oh, that's right, I remember that. But true amnesia, and I think I made a video about it before, but when I was in my teenage years, I got basically knocked out, and I completely wiped my memory of stuff. Like, as we all know, our life form is inside these biological computers. It's biological. It's got a biological brain, and it's got compartments that have memory of different things, whatever. But I got hit in the forehead. Maybe that's gives you your long-term memory or something. I don't know. When I came out of it, I didn't recognize anybody, and I didn't recognize how, like, where we were, where I was. So I didn't recognize the houses. Like, I know what a house is, and things like that. It's not as if it completely wipes your brain out, but it's like nothing was recognizable to me. So, and it slowly came back, probably over 4 hours. Like the first thing I remember, I saw something, and I was like, wait a minute, that looks familiar to me. I think it was just a telephone post or something. It was like, wait a minute, later on I realized, obviously, when I was going to school every day, I would pass that telephone post, so it had an ingrained memory in me, and so it looked familiar to me. Whatever, I can go on about that story, but the whole point I'm trying to make is what happened back then is kind of what is happening to me now in these last couple of years. It's been slowly, I've been waking up to, I call it my mission now, because I realize I came here for a reason. Now, for me, for some reason I hadn't this very calm effect when all this started happening, let's say 2 years ago, the flu outbreak type of thing, the flu exaggeration. And for some reason I was calm, and I knew it wasn't as bad as we were told, and I knew not to panic. And as a matter of fact, I was starting to get excited. I was like, yes, this is going to be something good. I knew something good was going to come out of this. So for me, let me put it this way. I could sit this one out. I'm not freaking out at all. Never have. I'm really calm because I know how this ends, and I also know that some really good positive things are going to be coming out of all this. This is kind of like I said, it's a wake-up call for all of us. And some people caught on sooner than other people, and then there's a lot, which is kind of disappointing for me in particular, that are going to absolutely have to be told. Like, it has to be spelled out to them what's been going on. Now, I know I'm going to be making a lot more videos in the future to describe our real situation, and I've touched on it throughout my videos for this whole over a year, is we're going through a paradigm change. It's literally, we're going from one reality to another, and what we're waking up from is a false reality, including, we were told about a false history. And I'm not talking about everything. Obviously we understand the history of the car, got internal combustion engine, and we improved on it and whatever, and different sort of inventions throughout our lifetime. I'm not talking about that type of history. I'm talking about the big stories that we've been told. Like, for instance, Earth is only 6,000 years old, or whatever. Like, all these different versions of what we were told, and the Egyptian hieroglyphics are only over here, whatever, but ignore the ones over in Australia and the ones in America, whatever. Like, we're not told the real history of what's kind of been going on, as in whatever. Not only that, but to be honest, there's also different, I know it's going to sound woo-woo again, different parallel timelines that have existed. So it's almost like, and they've left a trail of evidence that doesn't quite fit into this world and everything. But I'm just saying, we're going to be waking up to all of this sooner or later. And I'm just saying, I'm waking up to it now. So I was also told I'm going to try to help. That's kind of why I'm here. I'm doing my best, and I know I'll do better in the future, to make sense of all this, because I get it. I know what's going on. I get the big picture, like really the big picture. I can't even describe how many layers there are to this story. But anyway, so what this short video is going to be about is, I'm just going to try to calm you guys down. This is not going to end bad. We're on a positive timeline, and there's nothing that can stop it now. There's nothing. I know I keep saying this, and it sounds silly and everything, but we've won. But just because you won the war, it doesn't mean everything is going to be flowers and rainbows from here on in. It's now we have to start working. We have to rebuild this. We have to rebuild Earth the way it should be, and the way it should have been. And that's more where I come in. So like I'm almost, like I said, I could just sit out this whole first chapter of this wake up story and just, okay. And then when it's my turn to step up to the plate, I'll tell you guys, okay, this is the information I've got, and whether you use it or not, whatever, it's something different. But I was shown how our society should morph into, and it's going to be one of those things where it's not going to happen overnight either. So don't worry about it. It's not as if we're going to, okay, we're not going to eat food anymore, and we're going to blink our eyes and suddenly we're traveling throughout the cosmos or something. No, this is it'll be a physical change because we understand this physical reality. So it'll be physically changing to more of a superpower world. Yes, it will be, and a lot of us are going to be waking up to all of the powers that we do have. We've had them all along, but they've been shut down. So I'm going to make a video in the future. I'm just going to kind of give you guys heads up and trying to be positive to you guys. Like I said, it's meant to look really bad, but it's not going to be like that. It's just, and this scare thing, this is almost like you're trying to scare your kids straight. It's like you're going to scare them to the point of not, stealing candy from a store. So she's gonna say, oh, you're gonna go to prison and it's gonna be terrible, whatever. You're just trying to scare them straight. That's kind of what all of our guides are kind of doing. Now, for me, I don't have to be scared because I kind of get it. And for most people, they shouldn't be in fear at all if they wake up. And as soon as they wake up, they'll realize that fear is going to dissipate. It's like, wow, man, you had me going there. It's like, I thought for sure the world was going to end, blah, blah, blah. But that's just not the case at all, you guys. I'm just telling you right now. This is not going to go on much further. To be honest, it was highly dependent on how many people wake up and when. And so in reality, most people's fears are dragging this story out. They don't realize it. They have the power to shut us down. Like if we all just literally shut off the TV and sat around and told jokes to each other, we could just completely change the world overnight. Just we're doing this to ourselves, and that is part of the lesson. So anyway, this is gonna be kind of a fun video. I'll be discussing, so I'm just kind of giving you guys heads up. Kind of wrote down the top 10 impossible things that are possible that you'll soon find out. Like, for instance, okay, number one, these aren't in any particular order, by the way. So number one is the moon. Is it a satellite? Is it natural? How long has it been here? Have we been lied to about it? Yeah, it's not what you think. It's whatever. I'll go into that. Number two is anti-gravity. Yes, gravity isn't something that's unchangeable. That's one thing you're going to find out about not only your sort of new understanding of this universe, but things aren't fixed like we were told they were. We were fixed because our scientists said, no, this is the way it can only be, and whatever. No, you're going to find out that was kind of a wrong concepts for sure. Number three is UFOs, of course. Well, first of all, they're unidentified flying objects, so of course they're unidentified. But you'll find out that they're interdimensional. They are from, well, first of all, there's so many different kinds. But anyway, interdimensional, from all over the place. They're not this kind of like a no-fly zone, but they They pop in from time to time. They're not, and that's why they're not supposed to be seen. So it's kind of, this is supposed to be kind of a secret, whatever. It's been kept a secret, but not very well. Okay, and then number 4 is dimensions. Yeah, there's a whole thing. Time is number 5. Uh, it's not fixed like we think it is. It is in this particular, I call it a module or anything, but in this sort of learning program, you'll find out what I'm talking about when that is. But so in other words, yeah, it's here. We measure it and everything to a certain extent. It's flexible, even in our world. How people say, "Oh, time flies when you're having fun." Yeah, it kind of does, and when time drags on when you're not having fun. So that's kind of a way of manipulating time too. You'll kind of understand that. So time is really interesting. Free energy. We call it free, and this is stuff that's going to come out in the future. But it's like what Tesla was saying. It's it's free because there's energy absolutely everywhere in everything. Now, what's not free is it's going to cost us a little bit of money to make a machine to harness it. But that's what we're going to find going in the future. We'll be able to. They've already got it, you guys. They've already got this technology to basically harness energy, harness free energy. So we're going to be having access to that in the future. Remote viewing, yeah. I mean, it's like, it's like seeing ghosts and stuff too. People will have that capability. Yeah, it manifests itself in different ways to different people. Telepathy, for sure. People have known to communicate with someone on the other side of the world. If they're in trouble, they just in their mind they're going, "Oh my God, I need help" or something, and their family members on the other side of the world go, "Oh, there's something wrong," or whatever. It basically nobody's thoughts. Thoughts are energy too, and they can be transferred, and it's almost like Morse code. It's like it's invisible, but it's a message, and it's out there. Giants, we're gonna find out. Yeah, I put that down as number 9. These are like I said, the top 10 impossible things that are totally possible and have been. But yeah, of course, there's lots of different skeletons that have been found around the world that are really, really giants. And these are past worlds, is what it is. These are past events and civilizations on this particular planet even. So yeah, giants are real. Obviously, number 10 is kind of ending with that one, but that's extraterrestrials, which is yeah, of course, we're not the only beings in the universe, let alone this galaxy. But like I've explained it before, this is kind of a well, we're kidnapped, and we're hijacked. So here, the reason why I'm bringing that out up is because we would probably have more open contact normally with other beings, but because we're captured by a certain group or entities, they don't want us to have contact with anybody else, and they've kept that under wraps for a long time. But obviously, it's happened anyway. But they just call those people crazy. So anyway, so I'm gonna expand on these, in the upcoming year. So because I realize, like I said, my guides have been telling me, so I'm gonna try to help people understand these coming changes. And to be honest, they're gonna be awesome, you guys. I know I've said that for a while anyway, but I'm just saying what's coming is great. We have to go through this awakening process, and then the reveal, which like I said, it's already started, which is revealing to ourselves about what's been happening, and how we've been played and used and manipulated and whatever. All it's going to be pretty eye-opening stuff. So that's coming up. But anyway, so just just want to end this video and just, like I said, I'm trying to be positive. I'm just like, guys, don't worry. As silly as it sounds, I'm just saying we've got this wrapped up. It's just about scaring people straight, sort of. We're letting it play out, so to show people what's been happening. So so don't worry. This should be over soon, depending on how fast people wake up and get the message what's going on. Stay positive, because that's making a difference. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.